good. You got this. It's like when I thought it would be a good idea to jump out your car.
Insulted face.
Aww. So cute, Janet.
I am man.
She retreat.
Whoa. That's really cool. If it wasn't coming from the under.
Wow, that was cool. I want to do that.
You caught me in pain.
Wait, that hurt?
Wait.
Listen, that hurt him.
I didn't hear that.
Sticks that you can't see, so you think it's flat, but it's not flat.
Okay, I'm going to take a better approach.
Thank you.
Cheyenne, you really listen.
Didn't want to like relive the situation again.
Wait. Hey.
Yeah.
Philosophy behind this kind of activism. What is what we call the theory of change? How do we envision making this change happen? How do we envision, on that previous screen, changing the world for animals? So in a big picture sense, why we partake in the sort of activism, the sort of quote unquote extreme, quote unquote radical tactics, kind of what evidence are we basing that on, and how do we see those changes happening within society? But before we dive into that conversation, I wanted to actually another quick step back. I definitely want this to be very interactive. We want to hear all of your questions, all of your enthusiastic, supportive questions, maybe even more importantly, your more kind of skeptical questions. That's very much encouraged and invited. So if there's something like, I don't think this makes sense, I don't think this is the best way to do it, I don't think this is the best way to help, that's a very productive conversation to have. So think about your questions, and if it, we'll do a deliberate Q&A portion at the end, but if there's anything
want to exist. I'm not saying that has to be like a soft, floaty thing where we like never say anything that makes people uncomfortable. But what I'm trying to get at is that what really creates change is having, MLK famously had I have a dream speech. He said, like, this is the world I want to live in, and this is the world that I'm going to make. And I'm not necessarily going to wait for you to catch up with me. It'd be nice if you came with me. We're going to make space for you to come with us. But the point that I want to make about, direct action, mobilization, there's a lot of controversy about things like disruptions, right? Protests in restaurants or lockdowns. And they're very controversial because people say, aren't you going to make vegans look bad? Or like the people being disrupted would say, well, I am just going to go have a steak now. You've got to love the YouTube comments. Because you did that, I'm going to eat a steak. And they expect that to really be like, oh my God, wish I could have stopped that. My heart is broken. I wish I had never done that disruption now. Just kidding. We think, well, is what we're trying to do here to change people's minds? And yeah, in a way, but the truth is, like, society tends towards inertia. Like, people tend towards inertia. And those of you that are here in this room, you're already way ahead because you're already activists in some sense or another because you're here, right? You see something in the world that you want to be different, and you want to commit yourself to that fight, whatever that looks like for you. But I think most people are never going to be who you are. They're never gonna. Not all people, but the majority of people are about different things. They're in a space where it's going to take something really shaking them up. And instead of trying to kind of like persuade people with messaging over time to get them to kind of come around, the much more effective thing to do is to kind of force it on them, non-violently, but through actually taking action. And when you push society, it doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable, like at some point there's a tipping point and people have to just accept the new reality. And then over time they go, okay, well maybe this is a good thing. So the civil rights movement is a great parallel. What most people don't know, we say hindsight is 2020. We look back at MLK, those of us that just kind of, we know about him from school or whatever. He was like this beloved figure. We think, oh, everybody must have loved MLK. Except for the racists. We think everybody must have been like, this guy is so great. This movement he's creating is so powerful. But the interesting thing is that other civil rights activists in the 60s actually opposed what MLK was doing. Not all of them, but one of the major groups involved in fighting for rights for African Americans. And it wasn't out of bad intentions. It was out of this concern of like, you're pushing for this too fast. Like, you're gonna make us look bad. You're gonna push people away from like if people are uncomfortable, if you're inconveniencing them, you're going to set us back. And they thought he was too radical. The things that now like Rosa Parks or the march, the Selma March, we see these acts of heroism and we assume that they were the right thing to do. But society is still catching up to that when it comes to other movements. The idea that, when animal rights activists disrupt a restaurant, that they're doing basically what MLK was doing, with the lunch counters.
Because no teacher can get.
Much for everything that you have to say and what you brought up to the mic. We appreciate it.
Oh, there we go. Alright, they're proud for being a dad. We want to clean up Fukushima. She was trying to right into that Daiichi nuclear power plant. You want to wake somebody up? Want to wake Donald Trump up? Think about she was trying to right through his face. Right now, I'm serious. Think about it. All the BS. Think about all the BS. It was all destroyed. Some Christ energies just started coming through Donald Trump. All of a sudden, come on, go with me here. That guy shifts every day. You know what I'm talking about? He shifts every 2 minutes. The Gemini. Alright? It's so obvious. So there's some Christian in there. There's somebody in there.
You want to turn your shirty box down a little bit, dude? It's kind of hard to hear. Christ energy going through Donald Trump.
Hell yeah.
Christ always came. He came back kind of in a very Shiva form, destroying the system, destroying, paradigms, ignorance, limited. Alright, say one, pick one. It's gonna do a mantra to all beings be peaceful. Loka Samasta Suki no Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Suki no Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere, all planets, be peaceful. In the name of all beings on this planet. Feel free to sing
Emotions, feel something. It's like, oh yeah. Do I look regal?
Yes,
Do I look pretty?
you do.
Oh, my mushroom?
Yeah, yeah, you can. Aww. Aww. Yeah.
I was